really excited to see his call for a National Day of Prayer in May coming up. Anyone here going to be going to that? Yeah. But when we're talking about veterans, it's also important to know that our Secretary of Veterans Affairs is a veteran. He's a former pastor. He's a chaplain. So in a sense, he's a current pastor. He is a man of faith who knows the veterans' issues and challenges, and is there promoting folks like Candace to really integrate faith into it. But my journey and how I got here really started in 2008 as I was a young leader in Afghanistan. And there I was. Has anyone ever been 24 years old and just think you like own the world and you're invincible? I certainly did. And but I discovered the edge of my humanity as we were responding to go support another friendly element that was in an ambush, and a roadside bomb tore through my vehicle. And at that moment, a young Lieutenant Brown, engulfed in flames, not knowing whether or not I was going to survive that next moment, had one instinctual response. And I literally threw my arms in the air and I screamed out, "Jesus, save me." Now, here's the reality of what happened next. I'm burning from my knees to the top of my head. I can't see anything. I can't hear anything but my own voice. I'm screaming out for two things. I'm screaming for God, and I'm screaming for my mom. And as I lay there writhing in pain and on fire, I'm trying to roll out the flames, but they're not going away. And I get to this point, Troy, where I remember thinking to myself, three thoughts. How long is it going to take to burn to death? What's the transition from this life to the next going to be like? And I gave up the will to live. At that moment, that version of Sam Brown died. But what came next was, I believe, still a form of a miracle, because I heard the voice of one of my soldiers who was in that vehicle with me, had just gone through the same explosion, and he screamed out, "Sir, I've got you." Now here's the important thing that I want, folks back at your churches, members of the faith community to know. How often do we see someone who's hurting, who's screaming out, who don't have the answers for themselves? And all too often, we'll hear someone say, "I've got you." The next step is so important. And when I heard Kevin Jensen scream, "Sir, I've got you," the next thing I felt was his body on my body smothering those flames. It's words with action that saves lives. Amen. I'll just say this. This is a team at the VA that understands it can't just be about words. There has to be action that follows, and Candace is exactly the right person to build these relationships within the body of believers in the faith community all across this country.
Amen. Amen. Candace, tell us about that. Tell us about your role